Hello, my name is Kafui Day, and by the end of this interview, you will know that political polling is not a matter of liking a particular political party, lotto, or luck, but it's actually a science. My guest is Executive Director for Global Infoanalytics, Mussa Dankwah. And before we get through to him, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, now is a good time to do so that you can put the algorithm on our side and hit the notification bell so content will come your way when it's up. Mussa, good to talk to you.
Nice to be with you for the first time, I think, in one-to-one years.
First time. Let's go way back to your early days. What are your earliest memories? Yes.
My earliest memories, I think, were when we were running around in the bushes of Medina and Redco, Legon, catching bela.
Okay, rats.
Rats.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you know about catching rats at that?
Oh, I mean, we used to go hunting.
Okay, what were your tools? What were your arms?
Oh, basic sticks. And then you sweep the bushes and then they come out.
How do you sweep them?
Sometimes, but we set fires to the fire and trap them.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you successful?
Oh yes, we caught so many of them, grass cutters, bearers and other things.
So Medina was really foresty?
Yeah, it was very forestry. The furthest you could go would probably be around Obende there and maybe this top Herbal. Inside was very deep, and then either North Legon as well, and part of Presec and IPS those days.
Okay, so was the bela for consumption or for sale?
In fact, we used to sell some of the bela to a lady who sells food in Presec.
A choba ula?
She sells to the students, so they come there and eat the bela.
Oh, they knew what they were eating?
Yes.
What was life like growing up in Medina? Is that where you were born?
Yes, no, I was born in Koko, actually, in the Eastern region. And my father got a job at IPS as a driver. So we moved to Medina when my father got a job at IPS.
Do you remember Koko?
I remember vividly until recently I went back to the house that we used to live in. And also my auntie still lived there until I think 2 years ago when she moved to Asamenkasi. We went there and I think the memory of the area still stuck in my head and nothing changed when I went there.
How old were you when you left Koko?
I think I was probably about 5 years or thereabout, yes.
All right. And what's the memory that is very clear to you of Koko?
There's a place called Akwatia. And I remember our mother would give us kind of the scraps from cassava and plantain to go and give it to a man who owns sheep. So we bring that to him and he gives us a granite.
Okay, so to feed the sheep,
to feed the sheep, yes.
The peels of the.
So we were all struggling, fighting to go and be the one who would deliver for the granite.
And then you get your rewards.
And get the rewards, yes.
What did your mother do back in the day?
No, she was just an ordinary housewife. Later on, she was selling cassava when we come to Medina, cassava and plantain. Like in the morning, plantain and contumely, yes, normal days.
And your father was a driver?
My father was a driver, yes, at IPS.
Okay, but in Koko, was he a driver?
Yeah, he was also driving a car. In fact, apparently, I was told that he was one of the few who owned cars during those days.
Okay.
And he used to drive from Koko to Bodua, where I think my two other brothers live even at the moment. So when he goes there, he uses the car, and he was one of the few who drove cars those days.
What kind of vehicle did he drive?
I don't remember those that type, but I remember it was some blue color. And I remember one day, in fact, car was parked in the middle of the house, and I went in there and moved the car and went to hit the wall of the house.
You moved the car? Yes. How old were you?
Around 5 years.
That was really adventurous.
Yeah, the car was left unlocked. I ventured through it.
What did the adults say when they found out what was
happening? It was quite, my father wasn't at home, and my mother was there, I remember vividly. And then the car hit the wall. Luckily, it wasn't the building wall, but just the wall to the house. And then, luckily, it wasn't huge damage.
What was the relationship like between you and your father?
I was close to my dad, and he said I looked like him. So he saw me in his image. And I remember he tells me that many are called, but few are chosen. I never understood that until late. I think I was his preferred son, apparently.
How many sons did he have?
8 or 10.
Wow.
Yes.
Big family.
Yes. My two elder brothers are in Bodua. One called Rasta in Bodua. I think Bodua was. Bodua is part of the battlefield for the Akwatia constituency.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that was quite personal to
me. Yeah,
it
was personal to me. Okay. I have my two brothers who live there.
Right.
And my mother lives in Apramai right now, in one of the also electoral areas of Akwatia.
10 sons?
Yes.
And
My
you're
mother
number
had
one.
9,
Nine sons.
8 for my dad. Yes.
You are in the scheme of things in the
One,
order.
two,
Where are
three.
you?
I think I am 4th. I mean fifth. Yes, but the first child died earlier.
How many sisters?
I have 3 sisters.
What's it like living in a big family like this?
No, we're scattered. For me in particular, because when we came to Medina, I moved to live with a Muslim guardian,
Okay.
not far from where my parents live. And my 2 sisters were living with my grandmother in Apredi. So, but in the house was my younger siblings and my elder brother, who was also a mechanic at the time. So he rarely comes home all the time.
Okay. So you had siblings in Aprede, siblings in Budia,
Yes.
and then in
Medina.
Medina as well.
Yes.
Kind of scattered around.
Yes, yes.
And you said you went to live with the Muslim guardian.
Yes.
Why?
You know, when we moved to Medina, everybody around you was a Muslim.
Okay.
So they called the azan, everybody goes and you are the only one sitting
What is
there.
Azan?
I called the prayers.
Called the prayer. Okay.
So I said, why don't I follow them? Why am I sitting here doing nothing? So when they call, I also follow them. So then the imam said, maybe I should be a Muslim. So I went and told my father that I want to be a Muslim, and they didn't oppose it. And
He
they
did
said,
not.
"That's no." They
What
didn't.
was your father's religion?
He was a free thinker. He wasn't going to church. He was just a man of his own.
Okay.
And also, I think we come from a family of a fetish priest from my father's side.
Okay.
You know, the Apredi people and Tigari, they don't joke with it.
Powerful
yes,
incantations and
deities. Yes.
powers.
By my mother is a Presbyterian. In fact, I was baptized a Presbyterian.
What was your name?
Paul Dankwah. Ironically,
Okay.
yes, I was baptized Paul Dankwah at the Nkoko, I think Grace Congregation Church in Nkoko.
What was her reaction to you deciding to become a Muslim?
No, she didn't oppose it. I was very young. No, there was nothing really about it. Everybody was there was a Muslim, so it was normal that you kind of join them normally. So I became a Muslim. I remember the Imam who's still alive is called Malam Musa. We used to call him Bobby Brown.
Why?
he had a puller neck.
Okay. Hey, Bobby Brown used to wear like that. Yeah,
So we used to call him Bobby Brown. He's still alive. I pay him a visit regularly once I can. And then he asked me what name do I want to be called. And I thought I said Isa, and they didn't hear me. And they gave me Musa.
Why did you want Isa though?
No, Isa was the name that was given to Jesus Christ in Islam. So I felt, I want to be Isa. And when I said Isa, they didn't hear me. So they gave me Musa, who was essentially Moses as well. Moses. So I took it like that. And my younger brother became Isa.
Oh, 2 of you became Muslims?
Yes.
So in the family, you have some who are Christians?
Yeah, 2 of us are Muslim, and everybody else is Christian.
And how do you all get together?
I mean, religion has never been an issue for us. I mean, we are very close as a family, and a very huge family as well, both on my father's side and my mother's side. We attend every family event together, funerals, events. So we are very close as a family, yes.
Does it amuse you when you see politicians trying to make religion an issue?
No, it doesn't, because I have a better perspective of that. I know how it affects politics. Even as we try to downplay it, it may not affect families per se, but when it comes to choosing a leader, it has an implication.
Okay, we'll get there shortly. So, did you go to Islamic school?
Yes, I did. I
What
went
was
to.
that
Oh no, it was fun. I mean, you attend school Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday you go to Makaranta. You have no time to rest at all.
What is Makaranta?
Makaranta is Islamic school, the madrasa, where you go and sit down and they teach you Arabic, stuff like that. So I was attending a Roman Catholic school in Medina, and over the weekend you go to the Islamic school called Najahiyya Islamic School in Medina Zongo then, with the head Malam Sheikh Muhammad Khamis. He just passed about 5 months ago. Very noble scholar, very great man.
What were the subjects that you learned in Islamic?
No, in fact, initially you read, they just the Arabic language, and then as you progress, you begin to read into the Islamic teachings. For example, you do so many philosophies of Islam, the Islamic jurisprudence, the called the fiqh of Islam, the hadith, and the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then you read the school of thought, Hanafi, Hanbali, all the school of thought, and they are ruling on certain Islamic issues. So you tend to get into more scholarly areas as you progress in the Makaranta. But at the beginning, it's just noise making, shouting.
Can you remember the first Arabic word you learned?
It's always alif, ba.
Alif
I
is
used to use alif, ba, ta, sa. You dance with it.
Okay.
It's like A, B, C, D.
Oh, alif. Okay.
Alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, dal. So you learn all those. Those are the first, and then you learn the vowels.
What are some of the vowels?
The vowels are fatha, kasra, dhamma, fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain. Those are the vowels they use to create the sounds. So you learn that, and Arabic is quite easy to learn.
It is.
What you see is what you pronounce.
That's it.
That's it.
But what about the script? I mean, writing from right to left. Did that freak you out?
No, it didn't, because it's just easy. It's just only when you haven't been to Makaranta that it looks a bit, but still it's quite easy to write
So
from left
Monday
to
to
right.
Friday, you write from left to right.
Yeah.
Sunday you write from right to left.
Yes.
No wala.
No hal at all. No hal at all.
Did you get to memorize the Quran?
No memorizing, but I can read the Quran entirely, and also there are areas you have to memorize. But those who memorize Quran, it's a special skill and gift. It's not easy, my friend.
You know some people who can do it.
Oh yeah, you have friends who have memorized the Quran.
Wow.
You just start from a chapter somewhere, and you continue from there. Straight, yes,
What a skill.
yes. It's not meant for everyone.
How do you think your faith, Muslim faith, has affected or impacted your life?
Absolutely, it has. You know, in the heart of every profession is integrity, and to be honest. And Islam, these two pillars are very profound, and people who observe them tend to be good Muslims. And once you're a good Muslim, in whatever you do it with honesty and sincerity, and you will be able to avoid the traps that many have fallen into. So for me, Islam is fundamental to everything I do.
Do you reflect and think that if you hadn't made it to Medina, you may not be Mussa Dankwah, you would have been Paul?
I don't think so. I would have been Paul, yes. I would have been Paul. Probably be a senior presbyter by now.
Some church in Congo somewhere.
Yeah, go somewhere.
So you come to Medina, you become a Muslim, you start going to school. What was primary school like?
You know, I was a smart kid from class 1 to class 3. In fact, when I was at RC school, Roman Catholic school in Medina, I was always on top of the class. When I was in class 1, first, second term, and then in class 3, they brought me a lady who from nowhere just threw me out
Of the class?
of the class.
Why?
She was taking the first position. I couldn't find my feet any longer, so I surrendered.
And then what happened? So you left school?
And from class 4, they opened the Medina Islamic School. It was commissioned,
Okay.
and they were looking to fill it up with students. So those of us who were in Zongo and attending Makaranta and attending other government institutions were encouraged to move to that school, where you can get both Islamic studies and the normal education. So some of us, we moved to Medina Islamic School.
For those who are listening to hearing the word Zongo for the first time, what is a Zongo?
You know, Zongo is that part of Medina that has predominantly ethnic minority groups who are Muslims. They are most from ethnic minority groups who are Muslims. But it also has a lot of Christians among us. Medina Zongo is quite diverse now. But when we first came there, it was predominantly Muslims and minority ethnic groups who happen to be Muslims.
So if I step into the Zongo, what kind of languages would I be hearing?
Predominantly Hausa.
Okay.
Hausa is the main language we hear in Hausa. Even though there are Kodokoli people there are Chamba, there are Zabarma, there are so many Basar, there are so many mix of tribes there. But the language we hear most is Hausa language.
When you touched down from Koko, what languages could you speak?
It's Twi.
Okay.
And then there, I don't know who was speaking Twi then.
So you learned the Hausa? When
Yes,
you got-
I learned the Hausa when I got to Medina, Zongo as a child, yes.
So you go to the Islamic school. What was that experience like?
No, it was good. In the sense that you go to class in the morning, the singing and learning in the classroom was fun. You know, I remember sometimes you just, come out and form a queue, and you're saying that when you're dancing and you're going around it, and the malam is following you. And also after that level, we begin to do what we call the madrasa, which is after the dawn prayers, you go to the malam, you sit around him, he'll sit somewhere in the corner, and the students will surround him, and you are reading various books of Islam or Islamic studies, and he's giving you meaning, interpretation, what it means.
What language?
In Hausa, lastly. So you read the text in Arabic, then he explains to you what it means in Hausa, and also for those who were doing the hadith, the thinking behind the hadiths, how the hadiths were collated, and the importance of hadiths in Islam. And for those who were doing the Quranic interpretations, you read the Quran verse and they expect you and those who were doing the languages as well. So a mix of everything. So maybe this month or two you'll be doing Arabic language. When you're done, then you jump into another studies, maybe hadith. From there you pick the Quran and you go through that, and that became the madrasa form. It is the old-fashioned way of learning, which we were doing at the time. Then eventually they built an Islamic school called Umar ibn Khattab, and then in the evening we go there to have that lectures instead of sitting in the mosque.
And Malan is a teacher, right?
Teacher, yes.
Malan is a teacher.
Yes.
What is a hadith?
Hadith is the teachings and the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And can you find them in the Quran?
No. The Quran is a uniquely document that has the revelations from God. Nothing from Prophet Muhammad goes into Quran. It's entirely the revelations. What Muhammad says, Prophet Muhammad says, and he does, is in the hadiths.
So that's a separate collection of writings.
Yes.
Then you have to learn.
It's often used to lend credence or support some of the verses in the Quran.
Okay. So like a supporting argument to whatever is said in the Quran.
Precisely.
How long were you in the madrasa?
Oh, I've been in Zongo since my 5 years, so I've been there. More than 15, 20 years. Even when I was going to secondary school, I was still studying Arabic in Medina Zongo.
Okay. So you finished, with the Islamic school, you have like primary level, secondary?
Yes.
Okay, so...
But you do just primary to secondary level.
And then when you finish, what happened?
When you finish, then the Malam takes you to a special group of highly intellectual group. Then you have a different session with him. And those ones, there were people who were at that level.
Was that your group?
I think I was part, yes.
Okay.
Also, part was the current chief imam of Medina Zongo as well, but he was a bit senior.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was senior.
Okay. And then what happens? Did you ever go to continue secondary school in the...
What happened
system?
was that after 2 terms at Medina Islamic School, then they brought in fees, private fees, and the fees were quite expensive. So some of us, I can't remember, but our parents couldn't pay. So we have to withdraw from the Islamic school and come back to Makaranta, which was just peanut. So technically, I dropped out of school from class 4, effectively.
Is it not the same? What's the difference between Islamic school and Makaranta?
It's the same thing. Okay, because Medina Islamic School was combining both secular and Islamic. When we were there, we were getting both.
Okay.
So when you leave that and you come to Makaranta, or the Islamic school, you didn't get the secular education. Yes.
Okay. So you missed that.
From there, yes. But then at a point, I had to go back to school again. I told my dad, no, I need to go back to secular school because Makaranta alone will not be enough for me. So I was enrolled at the LA primary school in Quantanine. Okay. So I went to class 6 instead. I was in class 4 when I dropped out. So when I went back, I went to class 6, and I was there for only 1 week. I realized that I was probably too ahead of them.
The level was too low.
No, it was too low. Okay. Because I read a lot when I was growing up, newspapers and radio. In fact, I sleep with my radio on 24/7.
What were you listening to? What station?
GBC, of course, those days. And I remember in the late 80s and 90s, there were 2-3 people that I used to follow at GBC. Okay. I remember Tekiche reporting on news desk, and then we have Jones Kublenu also reporting, and then this Kobla Ali Kukubo. I mean, one of the guys. I was following him quite strongly, and in fact, recently I asked Tekiche on Facebook that when he was reporting from Gulf War, was he in Iraq or he was here in Accra? He laughed. So I was into.
So you're getting your education from
yeah, and also big fan of BBC, very strong BBC listener, Focus on Africa magazine, Focus on Africa.
That was your show.
Programs, yes, my show, okay. And also Voice of America, also very regular listener of Voice of America. So I was quite exposed to international issues very early. And then, so when I went to primary school classes,
there's no way class 6 boys will be
I realized no. So they took me to Form 1. Form 1, 2, I realized that in terms of level of thinking, I was quite ahead. But when it comes to the things that I need to know, those geography, and I was useless.
What was your worst subject in Form 1?
What should I remember? I think history.
You didn't like it?
No. No, you have to memorize
The dates.
and so I didn't like it. But later on, I found it very useful.
Yes, indeed.
Because I later joined the What Do You Know quiz GBC program.
Did?
Yeah, I did join them.
Okay.
So I have to go and read and all sort of abbreviations. So from the primary school to middle school class 6, I spent only 2 terms in that place. I was a naughty boy.
How naughty?
Those bad things that you do, boys from Zongo and Bela and combination of that, it doesn't come easy at all. So kind of it prepares you up for some kind of tough environment.
Yeah.
And then when I came to continent bullying, you don't allow anybody to bully you, Charlie. You have to scare them off. You're from Zongo. You don't allow anybody to scare you if you're from Zongo. No way. So no, not at all. And then for some reason, the book that were given to us to read, I stole mine stupidly.
Oh.
I stole my own copy, so they couldn't find my copy. So they were looking for me and I ran away.
Straight up.
I didn't come back to the school.
Why did you steal the book?
I don't know. I still can't tell why I did.
Do you know the kind of book? What subject was it?
No, the book was it's a gun book.
Okay.
It's called Nilegbe Klenkle Wolo.
Knowledge book or something.
Yes, yeah. That's the book I still remember.
You still remember the book?
I remember the book. I remember the book. So when I ran away, and I didn't come to the school at all. So I went back to the Makaranta, doing the normal Makaranta. And I remember there used to be a dam around Medina Zongo there, we call Obende. We used to go there Thursdays and Fridays to fish, when we were not going to Makaranta. And I remember the head teacher from Kwantana had a farm up there. So I was one day catching the fish and I saw the guy coming. And the guy who was looking for me for stealing the book. Goodness.
You took off.
I didn't take off because if I go this way, he would chase me. What I did was I meeting him slowly. When he got to the middle, then I just
went into the water.
And then went to the other side.
You swam underwater?
Went to the other side. And that was the last time
He
never found me. Never found me. And then after that, I decided to go to Albert Academy.
Why were you making all these decisions? Who
I was just, nobody was advising anybody.
What was your dream? What did you want to be in future?
I didn't know what I want to be. But I think I had ambition to become a journalist.
Mm-hmm. You wanted to be a journalist?
Because of experience on radio, that kind of thing. I remember the Rwandan war. I was following the war on BBC, and they had this famous reporter who died on the road. And I became so emotional, part of the story, and I said I want to be a journalist. But where do I start from? I have to go to Albert Academy, which was a commercial school.
Yes. Still in Medina?
Still in Medina.
Okay.
It used to be near the old council office, near the Medina market.
Yes.
It was somebody's private poultry farm that was turned into a school, frankly. It later grew. So I went there for about 4 years. Okay. And that's where I did my O-levels from.
You did your O-levels from at Albert Academy?
Yes.
Okay. And then what was your best subject at O-level when your results came?
I think I was good at economics and accounting. So I did economics, accounting, commerce.
You like numbers?
I like numbers.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
But I wasn't good at maths initially.
Okay.
I wasn't good at maths. Yeah. In fact, maths was one of the worst nightmares. But before I wrote the O-levels, I got someone to assist me with evening classes, revision, and eventually I got a pass mark for mathematics, as well as English as well.
All right. So after O-levels, what was the next step?
I got stuck, and I needed to go to secondary school or sixth form. But I didn't have O-level science. Those days, you had science, and I didn't have any of them. So I need to go to a polytechnic to do DBS accounting.
Diploma in Business Studies.
Accounting, or you do those RSA, Recipe of Arts.
Yes.
And I felt, the best route for me is to do DBS. So I went to Accra Polytechnic. Okay. I got an admission, and I actually couldn't pay the fees. And I was looking to mobilize, and I didn't get any help. So I went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at the time. Okay. Dr. Ibn Chambers was the foreign minister, deputy foreign minister. Right. And I went to see him, and they didn't allow me to see him. But I didn't actually see him physically.
You waited for a while?
They waited from morning till evening. And then when
you never knew him from anywhere?
No. I said, if he's doctor, and I'm a Muslim, and I'm looking for help to go to school, I think he would be kind to listen to me. So when I spoke to him, in the morning they couldn't let me see him, but in the evening they said they will call him and see if he will talk to me. So they called him from the reception and he spoke to me on the telephone. And I told him my story. I had my exam results in my hands. In fact, I was the first student to get distinction from that school.
Oh.
I got distinction. I did get 12 those days. So I was, one of the good students who should be helped not to be dropped out of school. So when he saw my grade and he heard my story,
You finally got to meet him?
I spoke to him on the telephone.
On the phone, okay.
And he was traveling that night. So he told me to go to Ghana Education Service and see a gentleman called Alhaji Badamosi.
Was that the Director General?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
And I went to his office the following morning, met his secretary, and I said, I've been sent by Dr. Chamba to see him. Without that, you'll be in the
queue.
You'll be in the queue forever. So when she heard that, she allowed me to go and see him. So I gave him my results and my admission letter and my story. And he said to me that I should leave everything with him. He'll pay my fees for me. And he did that for 2 years.
He paid your fees to write the A-level?
No, to go to Accra Poly
for
2 years. And in fact, he bought my books while I was in the school.
Wow.
Very great man.
He didn't know you from anywhere?
No.
Why do you think he took a liking to you?
I'm told it's like that. He was former head teacher of Tamasco. So he's been helping students who are in need to achieve their aspirations. And when he saw my story, I was no different.
How did you feel when he decided?
No, I was so excited. And in fact, when I went to the Polytechnic, I was the only one whose fees was being paid by a big man. Can you imagine?
Some swag for you.
But I didn't let him down.
You did the Polytechnic 2 years?
For 2 years, yes.
Okay. And what was the next step?
I finished the Polytechnic and I had to go and do my national service. So I said, I have a big man. So he will give me Accra. So a connection. The posting came and bam, Northern Region. I said, Chia, Benko. So I said, I'll go and see Alhaji. I went to Alhaji's office. I sat down and I told him my story. He laughed.
He laughed?
He laughed. And he said to me that, said he would do anything for me. But as for this one, he won't do. No, he said I should travel and see.
Okay, so that was a justification.
And to be very honest, that was the experience that shaped my life.
You went to the Northern Region?
Yes.
For national service?
My national service. And unfortunately, I was sent to Yendi. And Yendi also sent me to a village on the Gusegu Road called, I think, Bombonayele on the Gusegu Road. And the cars go there once a week. So if you want to come back and you don't get the market car, you are done. You are lost. Unless some government official vehicle was passing in. So I went there to just explore how the place looked like. When I went there, a tough environment. And you can imagine from Accra, deep into Bombonaile on the Gushigu Road. And then the lady was selling yam by the roadside. It was the only one who was selling on the roadside those days. And I went there quietly, and she was speaking Kotokoli language.
Did you understand it?
Yes, I also speak. So I spoke Kotokoli back, and she was so happy. Hi, Kotokoli person here. So we had a conversation. I said, I've been sent to come and teach here, so I'm looking for the chief's house. So it's here. So she took me there, showed me the chief's palace, and I greeted the chief that I've been sent here to the national service. But actually, I didn't like it. It was too remote for me. So when I came back to Yendi, I told the national service guy that, look, I beg this one day, change it for me. Otherwise, I will collapse. And he did. He gave me a village called Pansia. It's about 3 miles from Yendi. That we ride on the bicycles, you go there and you come. So I was just commuting back and forth. And then I remember the first day we were going there with the head teacher. We passed along a pool of water that we saw people and animals, helping themselves from that pool. And
wow.
So when we went to the school, and then after an hour, I went to see the chiefs, and we were served with water. And then they brought the water in the calabash. I knew exactly where it came from.
Yep.
And I wept. I asked myself, why should people be drinking such water in this country? Those were the days, even those days. And
like the 90s.
1993, I think, so 1993. And I said, 93 is 93. And I said, this is not right. And this is not right. I became emotional. And since then, I have never entertained any act of corruption of public funds. No. I know the cost it has on the ordinary people. What should have been used to probably dig the borehole was used for something else. And for me, it's unacceptable. So those are the things that shaped who you are. And during that service, then you have this conflict of Concombre and Number War.
It happened while you were doing your national service.
In the thick of it.
What was that like?
It was scary.
When did you know something was happening that wasn't right?
No, we were in the schools, and a week before the conflict started, we realized that the Concombres were taking their kids from the school one by one. And
you got intelligence that something was happening.
We don't know, but we know we were just naive. But I think they had something. So when the conflict started, their kids were not in the schools. So we were scared. I remember during the discussion to stop the war, we were in Yendi, and then the regional minister then, I don't know, I realized the question was put like that. He was coming from Tamale to go to Saboba to engage the Concombres. So he drove through Yendi. If you know that Yendi road to Saboba, you come through Yendi, Tamale, Sang, Sambu, and you come through Yendi, and you take the Zabzgu Tatale road and you go to Saboba from that point. And this guy drove for about an hour, and then we saw them coming back, speeding, running away. He and his convoy. We said to ourselves, look, that's the minister.
What are we doing?
He's running away. What are we doing here? Charlie, we started running helter-skelter. We just gathered our things that we could gather, and we fled from Yendi Tamale.
Did you hear gunshots?
No, that was rampant. Even at the point, some of our guys had to be kind of evacuated by the army. They were put in the STC bars, and the army was leading them the evacuation. It was scary.
What was going through your mind, man? What was your scary?
You're gonna come and you're gonna die because what you were seeing was not a joke. Was not a joke at all, and it was scary. And Accra, we're not used to this kind of conflict,
no. And
for you to be thrown in the deep of it, it was tough.
So did that end your service?
We were evacuated and we came to sit home for several months. We were enjoying allowance.
Those who paying you?
Oh yes, so they were paying. But in the end, they had to post us back to services. So I spent my last season service at Akusi area, where I finished my national service.
Where were you working?
I was teaching in a school.
Okay, what was that like?
No, it was the environment was green, but mosquitoes. Goodness me.
Serious mosquitoes.
Akusi area. They finished me. I remember I was sick for 1 week.
Wow.
Bad. The worst malaria I've ever had in my life was from Abuzi. But you can't stop. You have to go back there and finish your service.
So you are done with your service. What's your next plan?
And then I went back to Accra Poly again to do my HND.
Okay.
Accounting.
National diploma.
Yeah, national diploma.
Okay.
Accounting. And then from there, I did my service and worked briefly at Civil Aviation. While we were on vacation, we normally go and do attachment at Civil Aviation. So I spent like 3 years doing my attachment at Civil Aviation.
Which department?
I was in the accounts department.
Okay.
Treasury.
Was it exciting?
It was exciting. You were getting some small tips.
Okay.
I was in the treasury, and treasury, when people come for their checks, their payment, the boys who check the check, they give you something. So life was getting good.
Okay.
And then in 1998, I got a scholarship to go and study in Denmark. Okay. So I left to Aarhus School of Business in Denmark. And that's how the journey started.
How long did you spend in Denmark?
Denmark, I didn't stay for too long there. I was there for about 6 months, and I came to Germany briefly, and then finally to England.
What time of the year did you land in Germany? In Denmark?
Denmark was in July.
Okay, so it wasn't winter?
No, let me tell you the story. These guys were wearing basically nothing. And here was I with my coat. Because they said it was summer. And this doesn't look like summer to me.
No, it was cold.
No, it was cold. And the wind was so, heavy wind blowing. The whistle of the wind was terrible in Denmark. Crazy. And I was there, and then a whole school of business, we had some Ghanaians there. I said, no, things are hard, let's go to Norway. So, two of my friends.
Norway?
Norway. Yeah, so we took a train all the way to Frederikshavn, a very tip of Denmark. No one told us to come back. It was freezing up north. We didn't even cross that channel. There's a channel between Denmark and and Norway. Yeah. We just came back to Aarhus. No, we won't try.
Denmark was warmer than Norway.
I'm telling you.
And it was cold.
It was cold. Very cold. So from there, I went around and came to England, where...
What did you do in Germany?
We went for, you have a exchange program. As part of the Danish program, you go to Germany and do exchange program from families. So I did that for brief.
Which city?
I was in Osnabrück.
Okay, what was that?
Osnabrück is a very fun town to be in. We used to go to nightclub 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
But we are so bored.
What kind of music were they playing? African music?
No, all sort of music. Mostly no African music. The R&Bs,
okay.
And then rock.
Any songs that you can still remember from that time?
This is it Nelly or Kelly? This
R. Kelly?
No, not R. Kelly. This lady, yeah, Nelly. All the songs. When they play that one, everybody will come to the floor. The guys who are still in Germany.
3 times a week to the club.
And at times we even drive from Osnabrück to Holland.
Okay.
But Enschede,
yes,
and those places. And sometimes we even drive to The Hague to attend.
All right. To go and attend some meetings.
Event, yes.
Okay.
I remember we were in The Hague, and then that Lumba song, one of them, they kind of paraphrased it. Oscar Panier.
Dr. Panier. That was the song that was training at that time.
Yes.
Oh yes.
So we went to the wedding. It was quite fun. I know. Yeah.
And then from there you ended up in the UK.
Yeah, I went to UK to study.
What took you to study? What did you study?
I did an ACCA in the UK,
okay.
And did BSc Applied Accounting at Oxford Brookes. Later on, I did my master's in Accounting and Finance at South Bank University in London.
You did a lot of schooling in the UK?
Yes.
How many years did you spend?
Maybe 10 years or more.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What was England like then? Were people friendly to?
No, England is.
People who look like you.
If you have to choose where to live. I was in South London, where blacks are quite a lot of blacks there. So you choose where you want to live carefully. Now I was living initially in Brixton, Brixton Streatham, black community. So you don't feel like you are in Abrotiri. You see your fellow people. Any language you want to hear, they will speak it there. And whatever you want to buy is in Brixton. So it was quite homely.
You got Gary.
There's nothing you won't get. Even engwa.
Snails.
Yeah, you get snail in
Brixton.
Yeah,
who are selling the Ghanaians?
The Ghanaians. And it's it's a very fun place to live. I mean, you never feel lonely. You go out there, you meet friends, and it's quite interesting. And later on, I moved to Streatham, Croydon. Later, I came to Morden before returning home. So it's been a fun place to be in.
Were you a bachelor then?
Yes, I was bachelor, but I married my wife in the UK, and then we have a child there. Yes. So, but it's been studying and working. I joined the London Underground in 2004.
Okay.
Part of TFL, for Transport for London. But when I went back, I was working as a phone salesman.
Car phone?
We have a company called Car Phone Warehouse,
yes.
Selling mobile phones.
All right.
And then go to phone are yours. So I was selling mobile phones for a few months. And then I applied for a job at Transport for London. And then they called me for an interview. It was quite serene in the sense that the role I applied for and got, difficult for black people to get it.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I don't know, but for some reason, in fact, when I was going for the last interview, there were 3 of us who were left in the last stage. Myself and a guy from France who had worked for SG in France, a banker.
Société Générale.
Yes, General. So I was in the lift going up there for the interview. And I met a Nigerian in the lift as well. He is a station supervisor. Normally, most of the blacks are in the station or train operations, and I was at the corporate level. So he saw me and I said, "Young man, where are you going to?" And so I'm going to the 10th floor. I said, "For what?"
It's not a place for black people.
But I didn't understand him at the time. Then he said, I'm going for an interview. I said, "Then it must be a big job then." I said, "I don't know, but this is the position I'm going for." And the guy stood there and prayed for me.
Oh, the Nigerian
he prayed for me that he beat me success. He prayed that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't understand.
How did you feel when he did?
No, I was surprised because I felt, it should be normal. There are blacks here. But when I joined the company, then it made sense, the prayers the guy was making to me.
You were a rare person.
I was the only black man in the risk and investment team.
Wow.
So then it made sense.
It made sense. The prayer made sense.
And I remember, I mean, my challenges when I joined the company was really tough. I nearly quit the job.
Why?
I felt unprepared. And what I was being asked to do probably was, for me, too hard. Even though I had started as an accountant, I was put in the team of engineers.
So you're working with engineers?
Working with engineers. I couldn't understand a thing. AC current, DC current, bulk supply point, all the stuff that I got so frustrated.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, if I leave this job, it is a referendum not just on me, but any future black person in that department.
Because it will prove that black people cannot work.
Absolutely. So I had to stay, I had to work, and I had to succeed. I had no choice. I couldn't run away, even if I wanted to run away.
No choice.
It had become a battle to save your race.
Indeed.
Yes.
You work with the London Underground.
Yes.
Have you sometimes wondered why we don't have an underground system here in Ghana?
I understand.
You understand why we don't have one?
Yes,
Right?
because they started going underground over 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. So they have the infrastructure dug underneath. But it won't be difficult for us here because our buildings don't go that deep. So it will be easier for us to dig underground, but it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Can be capital expensive.
Big
So the best thing to do is the light railways, and then on top. This one are quite less expensive in terms of capital investment. Underground is quite expensive.
When did you move to Ghana and set up Global Infoanalytics?
I came back to Ghana end of 2009. So December 2009.
Were you working with the underground all the way up until 2009?
Yes.
When did you know that you were leaving Ghana?
In fact, I wanted to come home to work. I felt that what I was doing in the UK, there are thousands who could do that. But in terms of this country, maybe very few. So I felt I could do more for my country than doing that in the UK. Though I get paid very well, money wasn't something that motivated me. So I wanted to come back and see what I can do.
Where do you get this patriotism from? Why are you so...
You know, I have lived through poverty. I've seen my mother go through a lot. And I've seen my guardians go through a lot. And if you look at what this country can offer, we are nowhere near providing the basic needs of the people. So for me, it's always been, what can we do to help others? And remember, my school fees was paid by somebody. So that kind of experiences shape who you are. And then you begin to be more nationalistic and think for the bigger picture than that of your own personal interest.
So you decided to come back home?
Yes.
What did you tell your boss?
In fact, at the time, I remember Boris Johnson had become the mayor of London. And he was going through restructuring of London Underground to cut down costs. So we have to reorganize and restructure the organization. So I told my boss that I would like to take opportunity to take redundancy. And he said, there's no way, because my work has not been declared.
Something that would be made redundant. He didn't want you to go?
He didn't want me to go. But I really wanted to go because it's a window that you have to take when you are there. My child was about 3 years old. If you allow a child to grow in that system, you can't come back.
Why? Their culture?
No, they will fit the system. And it will be difficult to pull her out of the system. But 3 years, she's not there yet.
No.
So that was the chance that I had. So he said to me that if I can find someone who has been made redundant and train that person to do my job, so they can release me and let the person come and fill the gap.
No vacuum.
And luckily, I found a Ghanaian lady who was also in that pool of situation.
Okay.
So I got her in, and I trained her for 3 months period, and she became good, perfect, and I went away.
She's still there?
Yes, she's still there.
She's still there?
Anytime I go back to
nice.
UK, I go and see them.
Okay.
With the gentleman that was from SG, they are still there. They are now senior managers. Yes.
Yeah. So you left, and then you came to Ghana?
I came to Ghana to set up a company called DWA Risk, just to do PPP projects, public-private partnership projects involving government and private sector.
What did the letter stand for?
Public-private partnership.
Okay. But you said it's DWA Risk.
It's a Dankwah Walters and Associates.
Okay, so partners.
But we just
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So we came and tried to, work on project risk management and other things, but it was difficult. People don't understand what we are doing. When I speak of risk, they say like, "Much mad. Who cares about risk?"
Pray here a lot. You don't think about risk. Right?
Don't think about risk. So then I got involved with the foreigners card with Margins Group, and that was the first PPP that we got involved to structure a
Public-private
partnership project to do the national ID card for the foreigners, and then subsequently the Ghana card for all Ghanaians.
So the Ghana card was preceded by a card for foreigners.
Yes,
and
yes.
you were working on that.
Yes, yes.
What was your role in that?
I was a financial consultant doing the financial modeling and the feasibility studies for the private sector to justify or make a business case for government to approve that approach.
Did you work closely with Professor Atifa?
Atifa, in fact, we started it at the time of Dr. Haji Ahaji. He was then the NIA boss. I was working with Moses Baden,
Yes,
was CEO of Margins Group. So we work in partnership. Then Haji went, and then you had Dr. Josiah Koba, who came from Kimpa to head NIA, and subsequently became Griffiths. And so I've lived through all the NIA, yes, except that the first part of NIA where I wasn't there.
You weren't there, okay.
But when Atifa came, I was still with Atifa. We went throughout Atifa, went through the approval process in 2018.
Did you go to Parliament with him?
In fact, I defended the project in Parliament. On the day the project was called, in fact, they had a subcommittee meeting where it was just the finance committee members, and they were grilling the project team. And I was the one that was being grilled because I was the lead consultant on that project.
What's it like to be grilled in Parliament?
I remember those days. Issa Husseini was there, my old friend. He was my classmate as well in London. Issa Husseini was on the committee. Atifosun was there. And then this MP.
But then they were in opposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this MP, Asibe Yaboa, I think was the chairman or so.
Okay.
He grilled me. What.
How did you prepare for a grilling like that? How did you
No, I knew the project from inside out. Look, I could speak to the Ghana card with other people in front of me.
So was there any question?
All the figures, no, not at all, because this is what I've done in London for the past 8 years. I was part of the PPP team in London Underground, working with big firms like for BT, Tube Lines, and Metronet. So I've lived it, working with lawyers, big-time lawyers, working with the engineers. You remember working with the engineers? Yes. I mean, I was part of the power team that delivered the upgrade of the Victoria line. So I was working with power engineers to optimize power solution, procure solution that is ideal for the trains to run on, and also to renegotiate the terms of the power supply that we were getting from EDF Energy Power Link. So
you were prepared?
I was prepared. Yeah. I was prepared. So, and then when
did you feel that the MPs wanted to bully you small?
No, a lot of them, the questions were around things that they didn't really understand.
That's the problem.
So I was quite confident that I knew what I was talking about. And then when the budget was tabled to the House, it was tabled to the House as a whole. But it was so big that they don't want the committee report just to be read. So they took it as a committee as a whole. Okay. So the whole House sat. And then Atifa was here, and I was on his left-hand side. And then you have the minority side, led by Adongo was there. That day was fireworks.
It was, huh?
It was fireworks.
Was that your first time in Parliament?
That was first time. In fact, I wasn't prepared to even be on the floor. I was improperly dressed that day.
Meaning what?
Parliament, you must wear to be on the floor. Either you wear local dress or suit and tie.
Okay.
And I was wearing shirt without tie, without suit.
No jacket, nothing.
Nothing. So somebody have to borrow somebody's tie and somebody's jacket to look smart.
Otherwise, you were not
I won't go there, and I need to be there. Otherwise, I think I would have been in trouble. And we went there and defended the project very strongly, vigorously, and we are today on the Ghana card.
Awesome, good job.
Thank you.
But how did global Infoanalytics
come in? That is something that really, it was never thought in my life that I would go into this business. Even though I loved polling, because I've been following the US polls for a very long time, from Al Gore, Bush, and then Al Gore, Bush when John Kerry came, and then you have Clinton, Obama fight. It wasn't until the Obama-Clinton primaries that I really got into polling. And you see how these guys were using polling data, to shape their campaign messages.
That was around the 2008 election. 2008.
Yes, 2008 election. So I was so fascinated. I said, So, and I remember when I was young, I don't want to mention, we were following Ben Epstein polls. The crossfire, I remember Ben Epstein and Kakra Samoa, they meet. Actually, you don't want to miss those kind of so I was following it. Then when I saw what Americans were doing, I said, so what were you doing then?
By then there was, so it piqued your interest.
Yeah, I said, oh, let me start looking into this. So every poll that comes of the US, I'll go and read the poll. All the polls from Siena, from Rasmussen, from Gallup, from Zogby. I became, in fact, I was reading more polling than finance and accounting. And then Obama campaign was launched, Plough and Azrod, the way they use data. I said, look, this is political science. Then I asked myself, those who go to political science courses in Ghana here, do they do polling? I'm going to ask myself. And I realized a lot of them, polling isn't part of the core thing they do. So in 2012 elections, Buga Buga and Mahama won the election.
Yes.
2016, 2016, another one. But all I couldn't see any polling. Just you see on the last day or two, you see one line, Mahama 51, Ronaldo this. Nothing was behind these numbers. So in 2019, I said I must set up a company that would primarily look at polling data.
And of course, 2020 election was ahead.
Yes.
So that was going to be
my first election. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let me start. So in fact, I took my daughter's school fees I was saving.
Put it into the business.
I'm telling you.
Why did you choose Global Infoanalytics?
I don't even know how the name came by. But I think I was trying to say that information has to be analyzed analytically in a different way. And we don't want to be a Ghanaian company. We want to be a global player.
Yep.
So we added the global to make sure that we're not just looking inward, also looking outwards to analyze data. And I believe that data may come from here that may be of useful to other people globally.
Okay.
So that's the way I couched it. So we set up the company in March 2019. And by June, we started doing some small polls, conferences here and there, little.
Okay.
And
so you went straight to political polling?
Straight, but that's the only way that we can make name.
Yes.
The strategy was that, look, let's use the political opinion poll, and people will give us audience, and then we can sell them other things we do.
Okay.
We can't afford to market ourselves, to pay for marketing and publishing or whatever, we can't.
Yeah.
But let's use this CSR kind of approach to get our name out there.
Because you will get free publicity from the media.
Absolutely.
They will pick up on the poll.
Absolutely.
And you remember the first constituency that you made?
It was Medina.
Your home place now?
Yeah, it was Medina I did. We did Medina.
How did you go about it?
No, in fact, in Medina, I was on the field myself.
What were you doing?
There were people who joined me initially, young people, 2-3 here and there, and we designed the pool. I've also, but then put money to invest in the platform to do the polling electronically. So we don't want to use paper polling.
Okay.
We paid quite a lot of money to a company in Israel to give us a platform, rent a platform that we can use to collect data remotely and analyze it. So the first poll we did in Medina.
What were you asking the people?
Oh no, the questions haven't changed. The direction of the country, performance of the president, standard of living, corruption. All those questions have been tracking them for years.
How do you determine those questions?
It's from the experience I learned from the US.
Plough and his guys.
Absolutely.
Working on the Obama campaign.
Why do you reinvent the wheel?
Just use what is working.
Absolutely. So if you read our questionnaire or line of questions, it's no different from what you see in American polling. So our polling standards are equally the same as the US standards.
Yeah.
If you read what they do and come to us, you see there's no difference. So we're taking that approach because those responses will give us indication as who could win the election coming. How do you approve your performance as a president? Whether they think that there's a future for this country, direction of the country, perception of standard of living. Is it worth getting, all those things determine how people vote in the end. And then eventually you will ask them who would you vote for.
So the questions have not changed?
They have not changed.
How long did it take to gather the Medina data?
Medina, the first, we did about 384. Statistically, that would have given us about 5% margin of error.
Okay. How many people were deployed to go and answer questions?
Oh, just 4 of us.
Okay. You and your assistants?
Yes, and when we give each other some electoral areas, we went there on the street.
What was the reaction of the people who come? I mean, you're asking them questions. What were some of the interesting reactions you had?
What we did was that we first educate them that, look, we are doing this work so that your views will be known to the leaders. You have no time to call radio station to complain. Even when you call, sometimes they don't put you through.
Yeah.
But when you speak to us as pollsters, we will aggregate all your views in the country and present them as a document to the government, and they will see your complaint. So if things are not going well for you, tell us.
Okay.
If they are, tell us. Tell us what you're not happy with, and I will tell them. So that kind of introduction helps us to get these people to talk to us much easier.
How long did the education process take?
We win up to now. We're still educating
Still
people.
educating people.
It doesn't stop.
So, how did you determine that this is the number of people that you had to interview for the Medina constituency polling result to be
Within certain,
statistically correct?
there's always what we call sample size, and the sample size that you deploy depends on the confidence level you want to have in the poll. You can have 90% confidence. It means you can have 99% margin of confidence, which is quite high level of confidence. And then we can also pick within that confidence margin of error range. You can see within that 99% confidence, I want to have 3% margin of error.
What does that mean?
It means if somebody replicates your survey, or when the results are actually when there is election, what you get in the election will be within that outcome that you see, plus or minus your margin of error.
So if it's 99, it should be...
No, the 99 is the confidence.
Okay,
Confidence level. You cannot get 100% confidence level. That one is impossible. But the margin of error, you can have 1% margin of error or 5% margin of error, depending on how you want to.
Okay.
If you choose 1% margin of error, it means that the outcome, if you add 1, you will get that outcome.
Okay.
If you split 1, you get the same outcome. It's a range of outcome that you choose. Yes.
Okay.
So we normally do our polls at 99% confidence level and try to get margin of error not above 3%. If you are doing national survey, mostly about 1.5% margin of error we entertain. So we nearly, so that means we have to interview more people to get smaller margin of error. So your sample size is determined first by the size of the population you are looking at. If it's Medina,
so you want to find Medina's population
of voters, not everybody.
No, of voters.
Of voters.
Yeah, otherwise, babies and things will
Absolutely. Then you'll be doing unnecessary things.
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, okay, what confidence level do you want to have? 90%, or normally 95 to 99. Okay, if that is that 99, what is the margin of error you want to have? Margin of error 2%. Then you calculate. Now, for you to have this level of confidence and this margin of error, considering the size of Medina population, then you need to interview X.
Okay. So the math that you didn't like, and I was now coming into
the X.
So somebody else will bring it.
Now you have a system that generates that. So
yeah,
I mean, and also basically,
so based on that, then you go out and then you now interview, you find the people.
Yes.
Okay, you talk to them,
yes.
And then you come and do your calculations.
Yes.
And then now the election is coming. So first of all, you publish your results. What was the reaction from?
No, the first one we published for 2020 results.
Okay, so the Medina stuff you didn't publish it.
Oh no, that one we're using to see. Otherwise, it will still come out to you. The first one we published was July tracking poll for the country.
What's a tracking poll?
We want to keep visiting the people and tracking the result and see whether it's moving or not. We're tracking certain metrics in the poll. The first, we're tracking the performance of the president, the direction of the country, corruption perception, standard of living, expectation for improvement in your standard of living, and then we also do it performance of your MP, and then we do who would you vote for. So those
using American templates.
Absolutely, templates.
That's all.
And then if there are any burning issues at the time, we add those burning issues. But those we don't track. Those we're tracking were things that we know will be relevant till the election.
So this was a tracking poll in 2020, ahead of the election.
Yeah, 2020.
And you published it.
We published the last tracking poll in, I think, December 4th, 3 days before the election.
Let me talk about the July one. When you published the July poll, what was your reaction?
No, we said that was the first one.
Yes.
And the results had Nairo was leading in the July poll, but margin was not that big. And there were quite big people who were undecided. And that was a snapshot because that was our first poll. That couldn't mean anything.
Did you have people saying you are lying?
We didn't. We interviewed about 5,400 people across the country. I remember the first what we did. We deployed somebody somewhere in OT, and he told me that the place I asked him to go, that place, you need to take 2 canoes.
2 canoes to get to that
place. And that if was left with him, let's change it. I said, no, don't change it.
No.
Go there. I'll pay. So we pay for his canoe, pay for his accommodation for him to go and do only 30 interviews there and come back.
2 canoe trips there.
Yes. So we didn't compromise on where we need to go. Once the system has picked location, there's no compromise.
I'm pretty sure that when you publish a poll that goes in the favor of a particular political party, the opponents are not happy.
Yes.
What do they call you and tell you? What kind of feedback are you getting from
people
who are peeved?
But surprisingly, in 2019, when our polls came, the final poll came, Baumia Ananda was 50.4%, and Mahama was 37.5.
What did the NDC say?
But they didn't insult that much. No, they didn't insult us.
Okay.
Because you see, some of them knew me from childhood and what I've done. So, and they didn't believe that I would do anything like that. They know my values. They didn't think I was doing anything cynical or taking money to do anything. So the NDC guys really didn't say anything bad when we're doing it against them. But there were a huge number of people who were saying that they were undecided. It was them who broke heavily towards Mahama, and the race was that close in 2020.
Yes.
And MPP was quite happy about it. In fact, the first person who bought the report from us was an MPP man.
You bought the report?
Yes. The morning the report was published.
So how does it work? When the report is out, what you give us in the media are highlights?
In fact, it's about 5% of the whole thing.
The iceberg, just 5%?
Absolutely.
And the 95%
is
what
there.
You sell?
Yes.
I like it. You give us a sample.
Yeah,
and then if you want a real thing,
yes.
Come home.
So they came for a complete report. It was about 550 pages documents. We give them demographic analysis of every voter, for every region, by age, by gender, by education. So there was tons of information there. And we told them, in fact, we said, those who said they are undecided, where you can find them.
So is it just, you are giving people
free
insights?
Absolutely.
It's not free, they're paying.
Well, some debate that peanut, when that one was peanut.
So did you predict the 2020 election?
Yes, I did.
What
we predict 50.4 plus or minus 1.9% margin of error.
What did Nana get?
51.3 or so.
What does that mean?
Perfect.
When you get it right like that, how do you feel?
No, for me, it's not a big deal. Once you know about it, it has become a big deal now because of the insult you endure.
Why do you think this is?
No, they believe that, you see, in the past, people have paid for pollsters to do polling for them and to publish them. So if they're not the ones paying, then somebody else is paying.
That's the conclusion.
Yes.
So after the election is done, then what? Do you wait for the next election?
No, we work. We do work for public companies.
Okay.
We do market research, market surveys, economic research. So, in fact, our business is about 15% political service. The rest are commercial. But nobody talks about that.
No, because politics is the lifeblood of the nation.
And we've been doing what they call the banking brand service every 6 months. We publish them every 6 months. We do perception of customers about certain banks in Ghana here. For the past 3 years, we've been doing that.
Let's talk about the 2024 election. Because there was a lot going on.
Yes.
And you did your tracking thing again in July.
Yes. In fact, I left. I used to work for Margin. In fact, in 2018, I worked briefly as the head of investment and trade at the UAE embassy. And then
the Arab Emirates.
Yes. And then when we signed the Ghana card, I moved from being a consultant to become a full-time director at Margins Group. So I became the director of commercial finance in Margins Group for 2.5 years. Now in 2022, I realized I was going to go fully into the polling, and I didn't want my presence in the company to make them a bit unease. And also working with the government and national ID card, the pressure will come. So I felt, look, let me resign from the company. In fact, I was holding about 5 board positions in the company. I was, in fact, the finance chair of the finance committee or the group board, for about 10 years. Margins Group. It wasn't a small position. So I resigned from all those positions just to focus on global Infoanalytics, because I didn't want political pressure to come on the company because I am there. So I resigned, and we started the tracking poll in January to track what's going to happen in 2024. And we did that tracking all the way till the elections. Fascinating stuff.
If you haven't yet subscribed, please take a moment to do so right now and hit the notification bell so that when new content comes, you will be the first to know. Now back to my conversation with Executive Director of Global Infoanalytics, Mussa Dankwah. 2024 elections. Tracking poll said what in July?
Look, the first poll we conducted, Mahama 46, Bawumia 38.
What was your reaction from the Bawumia pen when they saw that?
No, they didn't take us serious.
Did they buy the report?
No, at the time he wasn't even a flag bearer yet.
Okay.
So we were doing scenario, but then he was the one that we were polling. He and Alan Martin. So he was on 38%, and Mahama was 46%. I think my memory is there. We're doing head to head.
Head to head, so just
someone else. We don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Alan Martin was around 40, Mahama 46. Thereabout.
40.
Yes.
Head to head with.
Yes. Yes.
Which meant that if they were looking at the figures, they should have picked Alan Martin to go head to head against Mahama.
And then when they go.
No. But that's my conclusion.
That was what the data was saying. Yes.
The data was saying.
All the way till he withdrew.
Oh, all the way till he withdrew.
All the way till he withdrew.
The data was saying that he was a
better candidate
than Dr. Bawumia.
Yes.
Did anybody from the MPP buy that data?
No. At that point, they were so big in power government, they didn't. No, they had their own strategy.
Political strategists, their campaign strategies.
No.
Nobody was interested in the numbers.
No. But what happened was that.
Did you do a Mahama Kennedy at Japan?
We did when Kennedy, around I think October 2023, before the November poll, and still Kennedy was doing better than Bawumia in October 2023 national.
Was he doing better than Alan?
But then Alan has withdrawn, become an independent candidate.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And he lost. You know, when your MPP ticket, the vehicle is quite big. So if he had been on that ticket, I think his numbers would have been far better.
That's Alan?
Yes.
Did they bother to look at the deeper insights of the numbers? His team? No, they didn't come to that. They didn't come to that.
No, but no, it was out there. But there was a lot more we're not putting out there than we were sharing. But at least they could have gotten far more insight as to why the numbers are like that. But nobody bothered to come. So one thing we don't do is we don't chase people for jobs.
So if you had analyzed the numbers, you would have decided to just stay and try and win them.
I think the reason he withdrew was that the system was against him. The delegate system there was no way they're going to allow him to win. And MPP delegates, they follow leadership. They follow leaders. Where they want them to go, they will go there.
You find that the data says that they follow leaders more than NDC.
Yes.
So if they get the leader, they will follow.
No, if they are told what to do,
then they go.
They'll go. You know, we've been doing some polling in recent times. I've never heard that. You see people making some phone calls down there.
I heard them when I was going down. They were asking all kinds of questions.
NDC people will not tell you that I'm paying for.
That I'm waiting for my leader.
No.
NDC people don't say that.
They have views on everything.
But ironically, when I listen to MPP strategies, they say, "Oh, our party is very democratic. We carry debate amongst all of us." But the data is saying elsewhere, something else.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So the numbers were there, but what really made it worse for them was the e-levy.
The e-levy.
Yeah, the e-levy really brought MPP to its knees, and then from that, the economy just tanked, and there was no way back for them.
The e-levy was a big factor.
Big one. It wasn't an election. It was the big thing that started their cascading.
Yes, for the second term.
Yeah, they just lost it from there. From there.
What else were the other big issues that you were tracking that affected?
The economy obviously was a big issue. The economy. But we asked them, do you blame COVID or did they blame the government? They didn't blame COVID. voters were quite emphatic that they are blaming the government for the mess, not the COVID.
It was at odds with what the government was saying back then.
Absolutely. And you
That
see,
we had a problem with COVID and Russia. What about Russia, Ukraine?
No, it isn't by either. In fact, we've done a survey that put Russia Ukraine on the side, COVID, and then the government's own making was popular among voters. Majority of them said no, it's government own performance.
Politicians should be buying the data.
No, they do actually look at data. That's the problem. I think they haven't realized that elections and voting in this country has changed a lot. That they must change.
Very scientific.
Very scientific.
The last poll, you did a last poll before the election, December 4.
Yes.
What were the numbers that you were coming out?
Look, we put out a poll that said Mahama will get 54%, plus or minus 1.9%, 1.5%, yes, 1.5% margin of error.
How many people did you speak to get to this conclusion?
We have, prior to that, interviewed at every point in time, not less than 7,000 people every 90 days. But when we got to October, we have then collected people's telephone numbers over the period. So we switched from face-to-face to telephone. The idea is that when election gets closer and you do face-to-face interview and the tension is there, people tend to misguide you. So we switched from face-to-face to telephone.
Was this an insight from America too as well?
I mean, no, they didn't do face-to-face there. But from my own experience, people we have been talking to, in fact, in 2020, we nearly got the results wrong if we hadn't done internal modeling.
What is internal modeling?
We analyzed response of certain people of certain questions and how they ended voting. So we're trying to triangulate and to catch them when they are lying. Sometimes you catch them off guard, so it can inform you what will happen. We asked them whether they believe that John Mahama picking a vice president would make them vote for John Mahama, and they said yes. This is not me. Yes, so those who say yes, we expect you to say John Mahama when we ask you the question. But when we ask them who would you vote for, then they said Nado.
They lied.
So we went back and got those people who said yes to that question and are saying Nado and do some corrections. Then we adjusted the model and we got it right. So they were lying to us and we caught them. They didn't do what they told us they were going to do. Went for Mahama. That's why 2020 was very close and then people was very uncomfortable with that outcome.
What did you predict for 2020 though? I'm just curious.
50.4%.
Close.
Plus or minus 1.9 margin of error.
So 2024 comes, you predicted 54?
Yes. And then 41 for Bawumia.
Okay.
His number was exactly what we gave him.
On election day, what were you doing?
We're doing exit poll.
Oh, you're not resting and...
No, we deployed over 600 people in the field across every constituency to speak to people who have just voted.
So that's exiting the
polling
station.
And we're talking to them.
Oh, were you asking them?
Yes. Oh.
Did you vote?
Did you vote? Yes. Let me ask you, what do you think the direction of the country? Right or wrong direction? How do you prove or disapprove the president's performance? They will tell you your standard of living. In today's election, who did you vote for? All we're doing is that we'll give them the device. The pictures are there. Punch the person's picture. Then you punch. Then we ask you, who did you vote for in the last election, 2020 elections? Then you punch. And then your gender, age, educational level, religion. So we begin to then analyze the exit polls based on demography.
I wanted to ask you how you ensure that your people gathering the data don't lie. But
we have trained them over the years. They appreciate the values we espouse. They appreciate the need to be truthful. They appreciate the need that we need to communicate sincerely to this country, and that when you are doing your work genuinely, you are building this country.
Let's talk about Akwatia, because that was the latest one.
Yes.
And I've seen some quotes being attributed to you. One of them say that you would have been slaughtered if you hadn't got it wrong, right?
Oh yes, they were preparing me at the slaughterhouse.
For Suya.
Suya. I was even joking that I've told the Mayan people in Kumasi that they should expect a big body coming.
You can just offer yourself to them.
Yes.
Why was Akwatia so topical and so...
You see,
so many...
MPP was always going through reorganizing and restructuring. And for MPP, they needed to have a win in their pocket to show that the base is not fragmented, it's not demoralized, and that they can gather themselves again and fight a good fight for 2028. That was what they were trying to achieve in Akwatia. And for NDC, it would have been a bad thing for them to lose it in terms of publicity. If you are doing that well, why did you lose Akwatia?
So everybody had their reasons.
Everybody had a reason. For NDC, it wasn't the number, but just a bragging right.
Yes. Increase the margin.
Increase the margin. Not the margin. Just so that we are still popular.
We are there. So how early did you start working on Akwatia?
In fact, we got there on the 2nd and 3rd August. But before NDC had picked their candidate, we wanted to have a scenario. If NDC picked this person against Asumedu, who would you vote for? If NDC had picked Kony, who would you vote for? If they had picked Bwachijadom, who would you vote for? We want to see the best and the worst performing candidate of NDC against Asumedu.
Did you have an idea of who the front runners for NDC were?
There were 3 people we know, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you did that poll, what was the outcome?
We didn't publish it.
Because it can affect.
It could influence who NDC picks.
I get you.
So we didn't select until they elected the person.
Then you published it?
Yeah, that evening.
And what was the result of
No, in fact, there was no much difference between Kony's result against Asumedu and Bedu. Only 1 point difference between them.
So any of them could have gone
away.
Yes.
Okay. But the other candidate, the MP, would have lost. The former MP, Bwachijadom, he would have lost if NDC had gone for him.
The former MP was an NDC person.
Yes.
Why would he have lost?
Because he was unpopular.
He was not popular.
Yes. He lost against Eneskumi.
Okay. Was he in the running this time?
Yes, he ran and he lost.
Okay.
He lost in 2024 because nearly 24% of NDC people voted for Eneskumi at that time.
Wow, that was a big switch.
That's why Eneskumi won.
Akwatia is not a safe seat for anybody, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what was your when you did your polling?
The first poll we did, MPP was ahead, but about 6 points. But there were a chunk who said someone else. And then when the campaign went into full swing, we allowed them to do their campaign so that people can really get the messages, and then we can go back there in the last days of the campaign to test the message. Now we went there between, I think, 26th and 27th or so. And we tried to avoid being there during the funeral.
Why?
Because there will be some noises that you may pick on the day. They will say, oh, we'll vote for him because they are in the euphoria of funerals, and then the day will pass and they won't have. So I told them that they should finish all the interviews and leave the place before the funeral. Mm-hmm. So they started by going to Wenchi first, finish Wenchi in its environment within the constituency, okay, and then cover the other areas the following day. So by the time the funeral was being done, they already left. We have gotten the natural feeling of the people, not that influenced by funeral.
No.
And in that, you said that, sympathy was none.
There was no sympathy for the NPP?
Absolutely not.
Why were people not sympathizing?
Look, demography has changed. Akwatia is mostly people with senior higher qualification and tertiary. Mm-hmm. The emotions play very well among those with no qualification or junior high qualification.
So the less education you have, the more emotional you'll be about voting.
Yes. So, and they didn't realize that.
But they could have found out, right?
Yes.
If they just came for the data.
Yes.
Did any of the parties come for data from you?
NDC did in the last, was it Saturday or Sunday?
Before the election?
Yes.
Okay.
They wanted to see the entire results by electoral area, which areas they have lost, which areas they have done.
No, after the election was done, they came for the
no,
data.
when we did the last poll.
Okay, the last poll.
The last poll came out on Friday.
Okay.
Somebody reached out to me on Saturday.
Okay.
Because we have published only 10 electoral areas.
And they wanted the entire
range.
Okay.
And they came for the field of charge. We didn't charge them.
Okay.
And in the entire range, you see areas where there
Why didn't you charge them though?
No, we felt that was just public data we wanted to share. So
right.
It wasn't comprehensive.
And it helps your publicity too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So they knew where MPP was leading, where they were leading, and even where they were leading or MPP was leading, where there were big chunk of people who say they are undecided. So
they can deploy your resources?
Absolutely. That is the value of opinion poll. So NDC came for data and they went to areas where they said they were undecided. And in 5 after the MPP was leading in 12, NDC was leading in 9 in the final poll. Even though NDC was leading by 6%, MPP had more territorial control. When the election was done, NDC had gone to flip 5 of the 12 that MPP was holding. 5 of the 12 they were holding, NDC flipped them.
Basically on data.
Data. Remember, Baumia went to Kusi. The poll had shown that Kusi was falling. Kusi is an MPP area. His visit didn't help. They lost Kusi.
What was your data saying about Kusi?
They were losing Kusi.
Okay. So where should the MPP have gone based on your data?
It's not about going. They made a mistake from the start.
What was that mistake?
The demographic misunderstanding.
Okay, the education.
Education, and also the kind of jobs that are in Akwatia.
I also heard comments saying that, listen, why will you give your vote to the person who contributed to the demise of the former MP? It was a blatant emotional appeal.
Look, let me tell you what. According to GSS,
Ghana Statistical
Services, most jobs in Akwatia are in the service sector and agri sector, not mining.
So that diamond thing is what?
The jobs are there. But if you have a population with senior, high, and tertiary, are they into mining?
Services and what? Agri.
Agri.
So farmers.
Yes.
And then the services.
Services.
Those are the key things.
Yes. And that demography, senior, high, and tertiary, they are into Galamsey.
No.
So they misunderstood the population they were dealing with.
Very costly.
Very costly. Cost them badly.
Have they realized?
Now they have realized. Now that they have realized it. Now, yes.
So your prediction again, per your polls, what did you predict?
I predicted that NDC will get at least 53% of the vote when it is counted.
And then when the votes were counted?
They were 54.45.
Satisfaction, right?
I felt this one was more fulfilling than the general election one. Because they have gone all the miles to make sure that they will just finish me.
What's the worst thing you've heard people say about your polls that has really hurt you a lot?
I think it's about conjuring figures from your bedroom. As for the bribe, they've been giving bribes, so they think me so I've been giving bribe. So while bribe is not something that really bothers me. But to think that we sit in our bedroom when people roam the towns, villages in this country to bring data. Some get snake bites. I'm telling you, as they go in the bushes to interview people, some have accidents, motorbike accidents, some canoes, all sort of stories.
What's the age profile of your people who go and bring the data?
They are below. They are just like Ghanaian voters. They're young people.
Under
most
30?
some are under 30, some maybe around 39, 35, maybe 40 below. Some are teachers, some are nurses, some are people who have finished school and have nothing to do.
How does one qualify to be? What is the official title of that?
You must have a tertiary level qualification.
Okay, so a degree.
A degree level qualification. But we don't advertise.
Yeah, I've never seen any ad.
No, we don't advertise. We use networking. If you have field officer who is in charge of this place, and he knows he can best recruit people who share the same ideas, same values like him. We have no capacity to vet everybody everywhere.
No.
So our regional coordinators and the people on the ground do the recruitment for us.
So if you should count your team deployed for an election, how many people are you looking at?
On the day of election, in the election we had about 40 people in our control room here, temporary engine room to work from morning till evening. But in the field, we had about 600 people in the field doing the interviews on election day. I'm
looking forward to 2028.
Fascinating.
The parties have started jostling. You can see something.
Yeah, you can see.
So
only blind cannot see what is happening.
So I'm sure global Infoanalytics is also very interested in what's going on.
Yeah, very
Let's
interesting.
start with the MPP. What are you doing with respect to their Flagbearers?
We are doing 2 types of polling. First, among Ghanaians, so that people can see what Ghanaians want MPP to present to them.
What does that mean?
If you are going to elect somebody who you later bring to Ghanaians to vote for, then the views of Ghanaians must matter as well, not just your delegate.
Okay.
So the delegate must look to elect somebody who the Ghanaian populace would or may vote for.
Right.
So we are helping them with that information.
So is it ongoing?
It's ongoing.
Okay. When should we get a sense of
The
what you're doing?
the October polls will be out maybe around 6th or 5th October.
Okay. All right.
And we are sampling close to 7,000, 8,000 people.
Now that the MPP knows who the people are running for, that makes it easier for you, right?
Not necessarily. We are doing, now we have about 5 of them or so. 5. So we'll be doing the telephone tracking for the delegates, talking to delegates and getting their views. The first one came about a month ago where we spoke about 2,000 something delegates and they told us what they intend to do.
Okay.
A good chunk said they were undecided.
How do you get the contacts of the delegates?
They gave it to us, somebody in MPP.
That's all.
No, one of the aspirants in the past
Yes.
had the album.
Yes.
We did the work for him.
That's all.
So we had the data.
Okay.
Until it's changed, we still have it.
I think the NDC race will be even more interesting because President
It-
Mahama is not going again.
It will be very. I don't see the long list. We launched our online version of the October poll of Saturday and Sunday, and it's been closed now. The list is long. People sometimes call you, oh, this guy may contest, so you have no choice but to include him.
So how many people do you have for the NDC now?
Look, okay, let me start from the
top.
top. How about Sedun Ketia?
Yes.
Haruna Idrisu, Julius Debra.
Which Idrisu? Lawyer Idrisu?
Lawyer Idrisu, Haruna Idrisu.
No. Oh, Haruna Idrisu. Yes. Yes.
Haruna
Education.
Idrisu, yes. I have Atifosin, his name is there. I have Joshua Alabi is there.
Okay.
Spielgabrek is there. Oku van der Poel is there. Ablakwa is there. Eric Opoku is there. Agric. And any other person
Give me more.
that's the name that I have so far. Some of them they whisper to you, I'm going. Someone to send messengers to you that, oh, do you know that this person is going? And what we do is just, okay, if we confirm he's going, then we'll add the name.
You haven't heard Zaneto Ajuman running?
No, we put her name there, but very remotely we felt very unlikely, so we decided to.
Any other women?
We used to have the vice president there. She was in the first poll, she was there.
Okay.
But following the health scare, we took a decision as a pollster taking him out.
Okay.
Because the environment and health, it will be tough for her.
Okay. What kind of questions would you be asking the respondents with respect to NDC?
No, beside everything we ask, when we call them, we don't just start zooming into. We go.
I heard people talking asking questions about Asiodun Kete when I was going to.
Yeah, we tend to introduce those candidates to them fairly by telling them who they are, what they've done in the past, and that people say the person should lead. They should indicate whether they strongly agree or disagree with that statement. So we pick that. Now we come and ask them if you have to choose 2 people to lead the NDC, who will be your first choices, first 2 choices, and they tell us. Then we ask them if you want to pick one of them, just one of them. Who would you pick? And they will say, we'll pick this one. And I say, okay, if there's a runoff between this person and this person, who would you vote for? So we're doing a scenario to see the pairing in head-to-head. Quite fascinating sometimes.
Will it be a dogfight?
I don't think so.
You think there will be a clear person?
Yes.
Do you have an inkling of who that person is?
I won't say anything.
No, but do you have one? Do you have an inkling?
I may do permutations, but I don't want to do that permutation public, because it could change the way people think. I want the race to play out naturally, fairly, and let the demography of this country and what the country wants decide who leads them.
You get calls from big people who want you to do things for them.
Well, sometimes they don't come directly; they use proxies.
Okay. What was the most unusual request you had?
One request was for me to add somebody's percentage, make it 3%, add 3% to his number, so that it will go up.
When that is not a fact on the ground.
I say that's super.
Come on, man.
But they will try everything, and also when they do that, they're trying to see whether ethically you're correct.
Yeah, could be a setup.
Yeah. So you have to be on the guard all the time, 24/7. You can't let your guard down at all in this business.
Have you been threatened before?
They can't. You remember how I grew up in Zongo?
The Zongo guy.
Yeah. All the bad boys, they are brothers and friends. We look after each other very well. Look, Muslims, there is a hadith. I said, Al-Muslim akhul Muslim. That's why when a Muslim go to a place, he wants help. He looks for the Malam's house.
The teacher.
Yeah. We take care of ourselves. We may disagree politically, but when it comes to defending, they will defend you. So I'm not scared. I've not been threatened. No.
Couple of rapid questions before we sign out. So you've worked UK, you worked in Nigeria too?
South Sudan as well.
Yes, in South Sudan.
War zone. If I used to live on a hotel, 5th floor, with the rebel leader on the 4th floor.
You meet for breakfast?
No, they go to breakfast different times. You don't go there with the guns like that, machine guns. No.
What was South Sudan?
No, it was war zone. You know, I remember I was once in the Ministry of Energy working, and there was a convoy, a vehicle driving down with speed. People running helter skelter, and I was sitting there quiet. I said, "Don't you run?" I said, "To where?"
The people are coming. Where
am I going? And then they got closer. Apparently, they were celebrating that they have defeated the rebels in some village somewhere.
Yeah.
So they were just.
And they shoot guns when they're celebrating the fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was quite.
What took you there? What took you South Sudan?
No, business opportunities first, and then the government became friend. So the Minister of Energy called me to come and assist them to structure their power infrastructure agreement with a British company they were trying to work with to build them the Fuller Rapid Dam.
Did you launch from UK or from Ghana?
From Ghana.
From Ghana.
From Ghana.
How about Nigeria?
Nigeria went there with the Ernst & Young on the World Bank project to work on sanitation for Oyo State. That's what do you call it? Is it Abiyakuta? It was Abiyakuta for some time. We worked for government of Nigeria.
Okay. What was that like?
Very interesting people, and in fact, what
are they like us?
Well, of course. The difference is that when you go to a hotel, the rice they give you is not polished rice. It's local rice.
It's local rice. Big grains.
I was looking for better rice and they gave me some.
But that's the correct one.
But then I said, these guys, they are smart. But it was quite interesting stuff. What really scared me at the time was that there was a bit of kidnapping in Nigeria. So when I was being driven from Lagos to Abeokuta, the driver was speeding mad.
Did you have an armed guard as well?
No.
But the speed was crazy.
And I said, why? I say, I'm robbers. Say, kidnappers. If you drive slowly, they will stop you.
Daytime?
Daytime.
You were speeding?
They were speeding.
I'm sure you were saying your prayers.
Charlie, I said, this place, it was crazy.
So you've advised governments, you've even worked with the World Bank. What one project are you most proud of, or one decision or project that you're most proud of? And say, wow, I love this. I contributed to making this happen.
I think the Ghana card. It's a big project that would have a profound implication on us as people for a very long time to come. We can do a lot more with Ghana card as a country, and I'm proudly part of the team.
Many young people watching this would dream of an international career such as yours. What can you give them as far as advice?
Dedication. Read wide. Master in what you do. Be inquisitive. Be curious. Then take no for an answer. Always be skeptical.
So you have guardians from all around.
Yeah, my Niger, yes, Zabarma, yes.
So who comes from Nigeria that you're connected to?
The father is called Baba Ahmad Zabarma. He was a former ex-military, those veterans. He brought me up, and he had two wives. One is Mahawa from Nigeria, I think Bari, Nigeria, and the other one is we call her Mamewake from Benin, Alejo.
That's a whole ECOWAS family.
Yes, ECOWAS family.
Nigeria,
and then,
Nigeria, Benin.
Absolutely. I used to sell wache when I was going. She used to sell wache, so I prepared the shito those days.
Yeah.
We found the shito.
You know how to make shito?
Yeah, the shito, the old style. That's the old style. Now, if you don't,
old style. What's the best way to make shito old style?
You know what? You put the oil and the onions and and then you pound the pepper, okay. the dry pepper. You pound when it's soft. Then you put it in the oil,
yes.
And then you pour water. Then everybody will coffee around there.
Because of the pepper thing.
Yes, and you prepare water, make it dry. The day it becomes soft. I can't be free. You understand that?
Disaster.
Yeah, because when it's soft, then you have to fetch plenty to make it look plenty.
Yeah. And then that's a problem.
That's the problem.
We are losing.
That day you'll be in trouble.
It's got to be hard.
It has to be hard. So that when they flake it, it becomes plenty like that.
Exactly.
So I had experience of doing that. So
you could easily set up a watcher joint in your retirement.
Absolutely.
Mussa's watcher joint. Sounds good. We'll make it MWJ. Let's do a little test now. So, of course, we are speaking in English. I want you to say, I love my work in Arabic.
أحب عملي.
Hausa.
That's what I can.
Chi.
Oh, it's okay. The guy is what got into trouble.
What how did the guy get into trouble?
I saw the gun book.
The book that you stole.
Yes.
Do you find that you acquire languages quite easily?
No, when you want to learn it, you can put a lot of way to learn it. But when you live around you, I mean, you have no choice but to learn languages.
You absorb the Kotokoli and
all those languages.
Have you been in a situation where your knowledge of another language really helped you to get ahead?
Oh, yes.
Give me an example.
Kotokoli in Bombona in the north. I ate free of charge that day because I spoke Kotokoli to that woman. And I also, in South Sudan, listen to this, there was a meeting in South Sudan, Ministry of Infrastructure, and there were some schemes against me at the time. So they were speaking in Arabic, trying to say things that, and I sat down quietly and I responded, and the whole meeting ended. It ended.
Scattered.
And at a point, in fact, I was even arrested by South Sudan's intelligence service.
What did it say you had done? What did they say you had done?
I was there illegally. I was there helping the government of South Sudan to negotiate power infrastructure with the London company. So in fact, I was leading their team to London to negotiate. And apparently, we were making so much progress that the technocrats felt that their frequency of travel to London and Norway has reduced because of my involvement.
Yes.
I was able to brief the minister quite quickly and get the documentation done, so we're making progress. And that meant that they couldn't go to Norway frequently as they could. They couldn't go to UK, and the money was not coming per diem. So I have to go. One afternoon, the minister was in cabinet meeting, 11 o'clock, meeting cabinet with the president, and then they organized me to be picked up. They were trying to bundle me up onto Ethiopian Airlines flight to Addis Ababa in the next few hours. And luckily for them, unfortunately for them, that trip I didn't go with my Ghana passport, went with my British passport. So I had a better weight at the time. So when they saw my passport and they were asking me questions, in fact, I even gave a decree for them to let you lead the government delegation. They passed a decree that you should lead them. So in the decree that they passed, my name was there.
Yes.
So I gave the decree to the Minister of the National Security. When he read it, he got confused. Because people who came to report me are who I was supposed to be helping.
Exactly.
So he got confused and he was making phone calls. Says, okay, I should go and come back in the afternoon. I said, I'm not going without my passport. By the time they released me, the minister had finished the cabinet meeting. I was trying to call her, her phone was off. And when I told her what has happened, goodness, she's now the Speaker of Parliament of South Sudan, Lulu Kumba.
Oh, wow. And all this interaction was happening in Arabic?
Oh, it's English.
It was in English?
Yeah.
But they speak Arabic?
Yeah, Juba Arabic. Or you call it Juba Arabic.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you consider yourself an Islamic scholar?
I won't say I'm a scholar, but I'm not a novice in Islam.
Okay.
But I'm not a scholar. Scholars are quite different in terms of their level of achievement in academia. But I'm not novice.
But it impacts the work that you do.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
When you close your eyes and dream of global info analytics for the next 10 years, what do you see in that dream?
I see a company that would be probably bigger than what it is now across the African continent. I want to be the go-to company for polling and data in Africa in the next 10 years. Yes. And luckily, we've done some work for other global companies in the last 7 years we've been in existence. We worked for Johnson & Johnson before. We worked with Diageo, who used to own Guinness. We've worked with Deloitte South Africa, Deloitte Ghana. So we are looking to attract these international brands in terms of the work we do for them.
And if you had a chance to fix one problem in Ghana using your skills and your talents and your capabilities, what would that one problem be?
Hey, Kafui. think healthcare. When you have to intervene several times for people's healthcare needs, and some find it very difficult to make it, it's heartbreaking.
Which healthcare intervention has really
I
touched you so
think,
much?
look, having lived in the UK when the system was working well, it doesn't matter what you're suffering from. The system is there to take care of you. When I got to Denmark, I was a foreign student, but I had health insurance, fully health insurance. I know it's going to be expensive, but I believe if we are investing heavily in the health sector, we will do a lot more. A lot of poverty people slide into is because they couldn't afford the health needs.
Yeah. So health is strong on your heart.
Yes. Yes.
What motivates you to keep taking on bigger and bigger challenges instead of just relaxing and coasting?
I want to be remembered for changing something in this country. I want to be remembered by bringing something that is new when it comes to electing our leaders. Leadership is everything. You elect bad leader because of lack of information, trouble for you. We believe we want to open up the space for open discussion as to who should lead and allow the delegate to pick people that the country wants to lead them. We have flawed system in our delegate system because it's a small clique of people who will go and elect somebody for us to choose from that option. So the people that NDC and MPP bring are very important as to what happens to the direction of this country. And if we are to open up the conversation and let people know the facts openly and transparently before they make that decision, for me, that would be a great achievement.
What are you currently reading?
You know, I don't read anything fancy. Besides the work I do, normally I work with my financial models in terms of financial transaction advisory, models and how to advise government. But every time I wake up, I go and look at my data.
See what's happening.
The more I look into the data, the more I get excited. A lot of things that don't make sense to many people, they make sense to me. And I'm able to gaze into the future and see what could happen if this situation pans out.
What's the role of AI in what you're doing?
Absolutely important. You know, we have a system that is able to scan through the responses people have given. And if I am stuck in the middle, you are doing opinion poll, very close election, MPP candidate 49%, NDC, let's say 45%. You have 8% who say they are undecided. I need to figure out how this 8% would decide.
Go. Whether it be +2 for the 49 or +6.
Absolutely. When you draw an AI into it, and then it will give you various scenarios that based on the responses this person has given on this issue and that issue and that issue, he's more likely to be this guy's voter. When you go to the analysis and then you add that on top of correlation coefficient, how correlated is this answer to this answer, you see the range, then you can do accurate predictions. It is not by just hitting your stomach and say 49 or 48, no. It's based on the support we get from the AI, the tools we have, and also employ statistical tool to really narrow down the options that you don't go off bar.
When you're not Mussa Dankwah the pollster, how do you relax?
I go to Zongo and eat banku.
That's all.
You know, I
Zongo still?
Yeah, I do.
Well, give me a recommendation. Where should I go and get the best?
We have banku stars. We've been going there since we were children.
Banku stars.
Banku stars.
Where is it in Medina?
It's near Zurak's house. It's called banku stars. We've been eating there. Sometimes you go and you eat, you don't pay, and you run away.
Is it the same person who is still running the place?
Yes, she's still there. So
still there?
yeah, when we came back from Europe, we just went back and said, "Madam, we are sorry. We are coming to pay our debt."
What soup should I do you recommend I should take it with?
Sorry?
The banku. What kind of soup should I
No,
take it with?
the soup is one. Some palm nut soup with a bit of leaves, kotumbre in it. That has been the same soup for the past 30 years.
It's a good business model she has.
Yeah,
Everything is simple.
simple.
You buy the same ingredients.
Absolutely.
And just repeat.
Absolutely.
Rinse, repeat. That's
So
all.
we normally go there Saturdays or Sundays.
Banku stars.
Banku stars.
Finally,
Everybody has eaten banku stars.
I must try it myself. And finally, is anybody in this world who still calls you Paul?
No. People don't even know. In fact, people don't even know that my parents are not Muslims or the ethnic groups that are mainly Muslims. No.
So on your passport, what the name is what?
Mussa Dankwah.
That's it. It's a pleasure.
That's good.
Thank you very much. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this interview. And if you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do it right now. Help us to help you to give you great content such as this one. My name is Kafui. God bless.